My name is Will Lampe. A little bit about me. I'm neurodivergent. And if you don't know what that means, that's a term white people use to make it seem like we overcame adversity. I grew up in the Midwest with like a classically Midwestern dad, which means I didn't know a dad could hug his kids until I saw an episode of Full House. And even then I was like, oh, San Francisco is pretty gay. All right. He was a conservative guy with a lot of conservative opinions, but looking back, he was super woke and accepting about gender. Like, he would ask about my pronouns in the middle of every one of my basketball games. I'd be out there on the court trying my best, and I'd hear from the stands, "Son, are you a woman?" Which is ill-timed, but objectively progressive of him to check in. We love an ally. Now he's one of these, like, a penis makes you a man guys, and it's like, I don't know if that's true, but I wish you thought that when I was living with you, Dad. Fun fact, I've had a penis my whole life, so that's one for you. They petition a lot for gay and trans rights, which I think is cool. I think sometimes they do it in weird places. Like, I was coming out of a Walmart, and someone asked me if I had a second for gay rights, and I was like, oh, well, you caught me coming out of a Walmart. Like, I don't even care about my rights right now. And the petition people always ask the same thing, no matter what they're petitioning for. They say, hey, are you a registered voter? And I learned that to end the conversation, you can just tell them you're a convicted felon, which shuts things down pretty quickly. You can take that home. Devontrae's friend can say that and not lie, which is good. Except it usually works, but one time someone asked me what I did to go to jail, and I know I'm a fake felon, but I got legitimately offended by the invasion of privacy. It's just like, I served my hypothetical time. I have hypothetical remorse. Let me live life as a free man. But I didn't say any of that. I just panicked and said, oh, you know, sex stuff. Which is the wrong answer. I don't know why I said, you know, as if I thought she was like a fellow traveler. There is a long pause. I tried to smile to make it better. It made it worse, for sure. I over-explained myself afterwards. I was like, I'm so sorry I said that. I've never done anything weird sexually in my entire life, except the one time I masturbated through an Amber Alert. I just made it weird right away. I always make things weird. I was a weird kid. I grew up in a funeral home. That's a weird business for a kid to grow up in. You're around death a lot. It makes you weird. I didn't know I was weird until the second grade. We read this book about this sick old lady, and she died at the end of the book, and my whole class is sobbing, learning about death for the first time. I'm sitting there stone-faced thinking, I bet that casket's $14.95. If I had to guess. Judging from the rest of the book, she's got pretty good life insurance. Why are we crying today? Being in the business changes the way you see death. It changes the way you see a lot of things. Like, my wife asked me why I never got her flowers, and I was like, oh, like, hey, flowers are for dead people. That's why. Flowers are for a friend who wouldn't fly into town for your funeral. Like, why haven't I gotten you flowers? You haven't earned them yet, honey. And people always ask me the same thing, no matter what. When I tell them I grew up in a funeral home, they say, like, oh my God, was it so scary? Did you see a lot of dead bodies? Like, were you scared all the time? And I did see a lot of dead bodies, but I don't think dead bodies are scary. I don't think you should think that either. I actually read that 100% of crimes are committed by live bodies. So if you're afraid of a corpse, but you, like, have a boyfriend, I would get those facts straight. Charles Manson's never been less dangerous than he is right now, actually. I'm so comfortable with dead bodies that I didn't get the movie Stand By Me. Like, from my experience, having a dead body around doesn't make kids want to, like, bond and go on an adventure. From my experience, having a dead body around makes kids want to leave your birthday party. And that door should have been locked, for sure. But, like, we had to pin the tail on something that day. You know, I'm happy I grew up in the funeral business. It's a good business to grow up in. It's pretty recession-proof. No matter how the economy's doing, the mortality rate's been at 100% for quite some time. That's, you know, good economy, bad economy. You're going to need us either way. That's why our slogan is Lampe Family Funeral Home will wait. Cool. Thank you very much. My name's Will Lampe. Stick around. We got a great show.